World Championship. No, that was not my goal at all. I'm a bit selective, okay, what I want to watch and what I want to read. I never go that what is coming to me. The moment you hear that someone is a chartered accountant, the finance professional, you say, oh, you'll be reading a reading glass, or you'll have a high tummy. We are all playing the drama. We are all playing the role of one or another. This is the life drama.
Welcome everyone to the new episode of Your Story, Your Glory. Today we have a very interesting person with us, a chartered accountant. Why can't a chartered accountant be interesting? They are very interesting people. So this chartered accountant I'm talking about, he's an oil and gas industry finance professional. He's an Ironman. He's an ultra trained runner. He's a mountaineer. He has climbed Mount Everest. And
he's also an author, motivational speaker, and also a Toastmaster.
Wow. And that's how we connected with him. So let's welcome Abdul Nassar on Your Story, Your Glory.
All the way from Qatar, but currently in Kerala.
Okay. So with a huge round of applause, let's welcome our next table topic speaker, Abdul Nassar. Abdul, your next book is titled 2-minute sneak peek into my story. How would it sound as an audio video book? Your next book is titled 2-minute sneak peek into my story. How would it sound as an audio video book? Abdul Nassar.
Wow, it's my next book. I always love adventures, creativity. So I already have authored 4 books. So I asked her, I already started getting ideas about my next book. So I can visualize it about relationship. That is the one new adventure I want to dig into more and to bring my experience to the world, to the people. So I had to title it, but it will be about a relationship. Why I say relationship? From all my these years, 45 years, whether it is a career, whether it is adventure, whether it is a performance in the job, family, the friends, any walks of life, the relationship, the human beings, that matters the most. You see, we get a job, but once you get into the job, the technical skills, after a 5-year or 6-year, you get into a manager's job. Then you forget all your technical skills. Now getting things done by the people, by the staff or the colleagues or the peers, it's all how you manage the relationship. You come to your personal life. It's all about the relationship. You wear the hats of a father, you wear the hats of a husband. It can be a loving child, a friend. So any capacity, it's all relationship. So I want to dwell into, I want to research, I want to learn more about the best opportunity to write a book that will give more enthusiasm, curiosity to learn the subject. Yes, over to you. You can look for any bookshelves, Amazon. It will be coming in a few years' time. Back to you.
Wow.
Okay.
Amazing.
Wow. That's amazing, Abdul.
Honey, this was definitely a right and amazing way of Toastmasters type of introduction of Abdul Nassar. And absolutely right. And Toastmaster is the one that has connected us, as we talked initially. We are in different countries and how we are connected beautifully through this platform. Thank you, Abdul.
Welcome to our podcast,
Your Story, Your Glory.
We are really glad to host you today. And Deepak and I know a bit of your story. And today with this podcast, I think millions of other people would know your interesting, motivating, and I would say adventurous story, right?
That brought you glory.
Yes. Abdul, like you said, and I'm parking this relationship book for some time. I'll come back to it. To cure the lifestyle disease like high cholesterol, you chose to get active long back. You started running. Now you have already run more than 22 marathons, from 10 kilometers to 90 kilometers, from running on roads to deserts to staircases to trails to beaches. And in 2018, you picked up Ironman Challenge, which had 3.8 kilometers of open sea swimming, 180 kilometers of cycling, 42.2 kilometer running, and you completed all that in 14 hours, 14 hours, 50 minutes, if I'm correct.
Yes.
And I'm
Oh,
very
well,
curious to know. And that's when I looked at it, I was like, oh my God, we would really like to know what motivated you to do the Ironman challenge. I'm very sure the cholesterol levels would have gotten into control with your running, right? But how did you reach to the Ironman challenge?
To answer right into the question, you mentioned, okay, I started running or walking or jogging because of the health issues to get rid of these tablets. But once you get into something, okay, you start because of some reason. Then you start seeing, enjoying it and seeing the benefits of it, the happy feeling. So you want to continue it. From the movement from the marathon or the shift from marathon to triathlon, it was eventually happened because of the running. I had experiencing some knee pain or knee injuries. So some of my friends suggested that you need to go for the cross fitness. So one of the option is to go for cycling as a cross fitness option. So I added cycling to my running routine.
wow.
And then eventually I came to know that, oh, you already know running and cycling. Why don't you learn the swimming and you can be a triathlete? Oh, it's amazing. Life is all about adventures. Why I need to do the same thing repeatedly? Okay, interesting. Let me learn swimming. So then I learned swimming, and then eventually I started doing the triathlon from the sprint distance and Olympic distance, half Ironman. Eventually the longest distance or the toughest one is called full Ironman. So in 2018, I did that full Ironman challenge.
Wow. Isn't it very interesting, Deepak?
We think about 9 kilometers and he was talking about 90 kilometers.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely right. This is truly amazing. Now, you rightly said that something that you started actually moved you into a different zone and finally into cycling and into swimming. And then you did this beautiful journey of Ironman. And then within 6 months, what happened to you that you thought about going to Mount Everest? Means you are like finishing and you want to take some rest, but within 6 months, you are already on the Mount Everest and you took 1 month to cover that amazing mountain. I want to know, during that 1 month, when you were actually climbing that one of the biggest, highest peak in the world, what kind of emotions you were going through during that journey? What thoughts were coming into your mind?
Absolutely right, Deepak. It was 60 days or 2 months expedition. In actual terms, we did in 45 days. Any emotion you can think of, I have gone through it, I should say that. Because at the beginning, you don't know, this is first time you are doing, you have no clue what's waiting for you. So I reached for that expedition, mentally prepared for that. Be ready for that. Anything can be happen because I'm a risk professional. So I did all the legal papers ready if something goes wrong.
Wow.
And I had a discussion with my brother because I can take a trust of him. So we have a one-to-one conversation. And I have gone through the physical training and then mental fitness, a lot of yoga or completely switched out of the social media, no noise. So always dreaming about that, my expedition. So mentally, I did the Everest expedition so many times, even before reaching there.
Ah, wow.
So that was the one mental state. And then my fellow expedition partners or the fellow climbers, they all, I'm meeting them first time. Even though I get the nationalities, I didn't try to connect to them, reach out to them. So first time meeting them in Kathmandu before the expedition. So in 45 days or all the 2 months, we were knowing each other, staying in the tents, having lunch, dinner together, having fun. So it's a lot of experience. So each one has a lot of stories of what they're doing right now, or why they decided to go for Everest, what brought them to Everest. So it's giving me a lot of insights about the real life. And everyone is a unique story, okay? Whoever doing the Everest, there is a reason for that. Some may be professional climbers, some may be in a particular point in life, they reached at a state they're doing something unique or something adventurous, something different. And some maybe it's a passion, some it's a dream. And what they have gone through, we have a lot of time also to reflect and introspect. So we have gone through all those emotions. Then once the expedition starts, each moment it tests you, or the mountain tests you. Are you good enough, or are you earned this to be here, to stand on here, to achieve this peak? I was feeling like that. And then I was reflecting my life also, this life of all 40 years or 40 plus years, and what I was doing, whether I was doing right or wrong, or I should have been doing something different. And so many time and so many to introspect. And then the real expedition start. Then you go through the life or death or all those situations. So you reach the peak, then you go through the emotions. Okay, you reached something, and God is so kind to yourself. You have seen so many tragic stories, and so you feel so humble at some point of view. And at some point of view, you are facing the death itself. Even in my situation, there was an occasion that my Sherpa left me alone. There was a storm. I have no oxygen. So I accepted the death itself. I realized that this is the end of my story. So it's a choice whether you wanted to accept peacefully, or you wanted to fight it. And at the end of the day, it's your choice. And then again, after a few minutes, then the miracles happens. Maybe the prayers of the loved ones, your friends or family, or the nice people, or the good work you did, and maybe the miracle happened, and start poking up the stories of the adventure stories. The miracle happened. People survived in the sea. People survived in the desert. So then give me the push. Okay, fight for at least 3-4 hours more. Do your the last fight. Maybe something will happen. That hope comes. So that feeling of hope, and then the miracle happened in reality. Some rescue team comes, and I get the extra oxygen cylinder. Then I completed my descent, and I reached the safe place. So when I look back, I have gone through all the emotions. There was a joy, there was a hope, there was, I don't see fear of death. Okay, if there is a fear of death, I will not reach that point, because any time you have the fear of death, you will not be able to pass those crevasses, pass those ladders. You will be coming back, you will be returning. Oh, this is not the place for me. I cannot proceed further. So the fear of death was not there at all. But all the emotions, I have gone through all those emotions, if I recollect.
Absolutely. You have gone through a lot of emotions. I'm sure your family would have gone through a lot of emotions during that 2 months when you were there and you are not able to connect with them. So how they handled those emotions?
In reality, maybe, but when you go for such adventures, there is some limit to what you can disclose. So no one expected that this is this much. So I went for Everest base camp 1 year ago. 1 year just before this expedition, I had some 1 week trekking into Kuwari Pass in India, Uttarakhand. So they thought this is another trip of his trekking trip. So I thought this will be a little bit longer, so don't be scared. So they thought this is as usual. He goes and this is a normal trip. But they realized the reality after seeing some interviews. But at the time I was in front of them. So it's a past, it's over. So they make me promise that I never do in future any of those adventures. So, yeah.
I know. There's always a fear of unknown. People who have not seen, experience that.
But what I'm taking away very strongly, Deepak and Abdul, is that you mentioned a lot of emotion. And in the end, you said, but there was no fear of death. Because that fear is something that you have to stay away from. Your faith was stronger than your fear. And I think that actually made you a victor rather than a victim to the fear of death, right?
Absolutely.
That was amazing. And I got to read a bit about your story right now when you were talking. I realized that you have already written 3 books about your expedition to Mount Everest. You have already mentioned the Iron Spirit from your Ironman challenge, from the triathlon, and you have written a book, The Road Less Traveled. The 4th book that you are going to write is about relationships, right? I'm really curious to know that now that you have mentioned a human element, which is very strong in your life, something which is different from adventurous and something from expeditions and something where you have taken a lot of risk. This is the part which is a very soft element of us. How does relationship hold importance in your life, and what is your idea about this book?
It's after writing the 3 books, and it's okay, what I'm going to write about the next one, what is next. So this is the topic coming to me. Maybe from my experience, to give some lights, I don't have the clear clue what will be the outcome and how it is going to end. But some of the thoughts coming to me when I think about the relationship. As I already mentioned, in different phases of the life, you wear different hats. So you come across a different relationship in different position, whether it's as a dad, a child, a spouse, or employer, employee, or friend, or coach, coachee, or the Sherpa. So many related relationships. And another aspect is the cultural side of it and the geographical side of it. To give more light into that, I'm coming from a village in Kerala, it's southern part of India, it's part of Asia, and then I worked almost 15 years, more than 2 decades in Middle East. It's Arab culture. There we have people coming from different nationalities, different cultures. It's a diversity is a part of in any company and organization you deal with. So I see a lot of differences in the culture-wise, or the Asians, Westerners, or whether you come into sports, how they see, whether it's the marriage. So I see a lot of difference, uniqueness in different. So I'm not saying one is right or one is wrong. So I thought of this is a good subject to people more into dwelling into and explore and experience. I want to share my experience as well. So the person in my village, I don't want him to go through 20 years or 2 decades to experience the same what I'm experiencing.
Wow.
So I want to share some lessons what I learned.
No, absolutely.
No doubt this is going to be an interesting book, right? Because when you mentioned the diversity in the relationship, the geographical, cultural, living in different countries, going through different cultural differences, I think your experiences and your stories will definitely add a lot more value to people around you and to the world. Moving to the next question from here only, you mentioned that wearing lots of hats. Which is the most difficult hat for you as of now? Maybe a bit challenging.
The difficult hat, in fact, I see it differently, because we are all playing the drama. We are all playing the role of one or another. This is the life drama. So I don't know. I am just wearing that hat or forced to wear that hat so lightly. So I've been thrown through something. Okay, enjoy it. Okay, let me see how it goes. So it's like that. So for me, I'm juggling and I'm enjoying each role what I'm playing, whether I'm as a head of the finance department in a national oil company dealing with multinational companies, whether it's as an employment challenges, or whether it is a husband and the relationship with my spouse, or my parents and friends, and the sports life. And now I'm going to the colleges and institutes to share my story as a motivational speaker. So this is part of my social responsibility. So I'm enjoying whatever coming to me. So I don't see which one is difficult or which one is, there is all learning lessons. I see a lot of learning and growing. So the life is full of adventures, I should say.
I must say, Abdul, I'm enjoying all the hats with a bit of adventure in them.
Because I feel like I'm breaking all the stereotypes. So maybe more I'm coming from the Asian side or the village side. I'm a chartered accountant, okay? So there is a impression. The moment you hear that someone is a chartered accountant, the finance professional, you say, oh, you'll be reading a reading glass, or you'll have a high tummy. I started using the glass only recently, okay, because I crossed the 40 for the, I have to otherwise. So I'm breaking the stereotype. Or if you have a busy corporate life, you are not supposed to do for Mount Everest or the Ironman or marathons. You will be busy with your corporate life. How this is possible? And then you name it. I'm breaking all the stereotype, all the past notions of what is right, what is wrong. I'm going beyond all those borders.
Absolutely right. And this is what Hani said, the way you have been wearing multiple hats. is really, really admirable. I know that you have choose to face so many challenges and you have overcome that. But is there any personal challenge you are still running from that you would like to face with that iron spirit?
Currently, the age is a challenge. So I'm 45 plus. Still,
Come on,
I'm
Abdul,
getting
that can't be a challenge at all. You are super
I-
fit, and age
I'm
is just a
challenging
number
myself.
there.
Even the previous week in Boston, I got a personal best, a personal record time. I mentioned 22 marathon. My fastest marathon is the previous week marathon, 3
Yeah.
hours, 27 minutes. So I'm challenging myself again the next marathon, whether it is maybe Berlin or uh, I have so many events lined up. So I'm thinking of getting my personal best in each marathon. So I'm challenging myself. And you talk about the corporate life. I'm heading as the head of the finance of a 35 billion portfolio. Still have aspirations and dreams. So I have maybe 10, 15 years of career ahead. I have more miles to go and to accomplish. So the moment you hear that someone is a chartered accountant, the finance professional, you say, oh, you'll be reading a reading class, or you'll have a high tummy. I have goals there, dreams there. And my personal life, this is a never-ending job. You want to improve your relationship with who are next to your loved ones. So always have daily goals, monthly goals, and the social life. I have goals always. A spiritual life and social, giving back, writing books or reaching out to people, whether it is a broadcaster, whether as a motivational speaker. So I always have goals, moving goals, and keep challenging my time. And getting time for all these goals is the toughest one I'm facing right now. 24 hours a day, I feel it is too short for me.
Really inspiring, really inspiring.
Ah. And with that, I think, Deepak, I have this another question in my head. When you say that 24 hours seems really less, and I can actually visualize that obviously when you are planning for a Mount Everest summit, when you are planning for an Ironman challenge or any marathon, and you're challenging yourself to reduce your timing. Every time you're preparing, working hard on those goals, and you have a job too. How do you manage to get the time to work? I'm curious to know, how do you find this balance in your life, which is very, very critical for all of us?
It's a hard reality. Okay, we all have 24 hours a day, that we need to accept it and recognize it. Once we have done that, we need to see the distractions or what are the activities really consuming our time. We need to I used to go for a practical way of noting down how I am spending my time. For example, 7 days, that 1 week cycle or a monthly cycle, exactly how I am spending my time. Then I see whether I can remove this activity or reduce this time. For example, the travel time. I keep shifting my house maybe close to my office to reduce the travel time, or I may think of shifting my house to close to my school to reduce the travel time. So somehow I reduce that, and maybe the TV watching time, the distractions. And then I say that the youngsters, you just divide 24 by 3, you get 8 hours. Okay, you use 8 hours for work, 8 hours. Even if you use 8 hours for sleep, still you have 8 hours per day. That's more than enough for your activities, for your passion, for your family, friends, you name it. 8 hours is more than enough. But in reality, we don't know how we are spending our time and what are the distractions. Whether it is maybe emotional intelligent, or the YouTube will giving us the feed to watch the next video, next video, next video. We don't know how many hours we spend our time. And the news, or I'm a bit selective, okay, what I want to watch and what I want to read. I never go that what is coming to me. So I manage my time. I try to take control of how I am spending my time. So this helps me a lot to be aware of and what are my goals. If something is not aligned with my goal, I'll cut them out of my schedule. I'm a bit harsh on that.
Yes, you have to be harsh on something
Yes.
which is, because you are achieving big things in life. You're not achieving small things in life. And things like Mount Everest or running 90 kilometers cannot be achieved by watching YouTube continuously,
Yeah.
definitely.
Scrolling through the videos at the shorts, never gonna help. So for all those who are listening, be aware that 8 + 8 + 8 works. It really works. It has worked for Abdul. It should work for all of us. And I think that's a great lesson, that we need to keep a watch. We need to be aware of where are we wasting our time. I think awareness is the first step, right?
Absolutely
For a
right.
good balance in life.
Then only you make right choices. And Abdul, as you said that you are managing your time well, but it's not only managing your time well that makes you successful as an individual. You were fighting your own fight to achieve your goals, but definitely when you are there in form of achieving your goals, there is always some kind of support system behind you. What is your support system looks like?
As you rightly mentioned, I have a circle of people always surrounded me that is aligned with my goals. Okay, just leaving the family, I just give you an example. For example, I have a running marathons or sports, marathon, triathlon. So I have a group of people. They are either marathon runners, running club, or it's a tri club. So 2, 3 clubs I associated with. So they are circling me. So I get that inspiration, motivation. Even if I discuss with them any crazy idea of 90 km, 200 km run, they say, oh, it's possible. Yeah, they never say that you're crazy. Okay, these people are all crazy people. Okay, so this is the circle I'm talking about. But
Absolutely.
if I go to my colleague in the office, if I talk about them, he may say that you're crazy. No, you cannot do that. So I never disclose this to them. So I have a selective group of people which I can discuss with. And then I have a author family or group. When I am talking about writing a book, or the format or the stories, so the title of the book, what should be the format, should be the photo, this should be like that, the color. We support each other. So we share, and we are, because there will be vulnerabilities. Okay, if you cannot go to someone and say that I'm going to write a story of my own, I'm going to give us, are you mad? You are going to share this story? They will judge you.
Yeah.
You will be ridiculed. You will be laughed. No, you cannot. So I'll not share those. So I have an author group, or we are self-supporting. We support each other. So I can share with them any crazy ideas. They will say, very good. This has some uniqueness. This is your unique story. This is what people want. They don't want to copycat or the same. So this is something unique. So, and coming to the family side, my better half wife, she's also coming with that background. She's a kickboxing champion, and she do paddling,
Wow.
and she's not much running, but she has other adventures like mentioned volleyball or kickboxing, and also she supports me. If I am running a marathon or 90 kilometers, she will be all over the course with the Gatorade or the gel or banana or something.
Oh my God.
Oh.
I spent 10 hours on the course, she will be 10 hours on the course as well. Okay, so I'm lucky, and I'm so blessed to have a support system like that. And even for Everest, she was a bit supporting, but after Everest, she decided, okay, if you want to go to the next one, like a K2 or something, you can go, but only condition, you have to take me also along with you. We'll go together. so yeah, I'm blessed.
How about your kids? What are their feelings? Are they proud of their dad?
I think they should talk by themselves. So I don't want to, because the kids are, I don't know how they see. Sometimes they may be proud. I assume they'll be super proud of their dad and all these adventures. I don't know. So I would like to listen from them directly. I don't want to assume, because
We need to call them for a podcast.
Yeah.
absolutely,
And
absolutely.
And I think Deepak, Abdul has very beautifully reiterated that the support system is always crucial. The way you choose your people, the people around you, are they motivating you? Are they actually helping you? Actually give you a lot of strength, right?
Do you remember, honey, we have heard from our childhood that the top 5 people around you will make you what you become in life. And exactly that is what he has reiterated, that if you really want to become a mountaineer, you will not sit with doctors. You have to be sit with mountaineers or authors or what you want to do in life. So that's very insightful, Abdul, and I think I have learned a lot from this, and our audience must be taking away a lot of learning from this particular aspect of your life. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you. Welcome. And also add to that, I also like to challenge myself. For example, I'm participating in, just give an example, a marathon every year. So if I start getting that first prize and 1 or 2 occasions, then I go, okay, I'll go a little bit wider or larger or something, which I can be challenged. So I'll be coming as a 5 or 10 or 15. So I have a more room or challenge to fight again to get it to the top. So I never stuck with something, okay, oh, okay, this is the place I can be always on top. And no, I want to always challenging a goal always. I always keep myself from moving from maybe one activity to the next, or from one level to another level, or so I always love to that. It's always personal best. I'm not competing with anyone else. So if I'm improving, considering or regards to my previous performance, that's always my target.
When I was reading about your 90-kilometer run, there was a huge difference of timings that you did previously, and then you did the latest one, and that says it all.
Yes, absolutely. I'm grateful. I'm always thankful to the Almighty for all the blessings of, especially the health, the sports injuries always is a challenge for any athlete. So
awesome.
Abdul, you have always been creating new milestones at your work. You are aspiring to get and grow bigger. You are at marathon, you're beating your own timing every time, just like you said right now, right? I'm very curious to know your next target or milestone at Toastmasters journey. What about World Championship of Public Speaking, or any other role that you aspire to take up?
I hope my clubs are not listening to this. I didn't pay my fee for this year.
Which is
Definitely,
your
I'm going to go back because of the COVID. Always, to be very frank, I need the stage time. Okay, these days I'm going a lot of stages to universities or the seminars to be natural, to share the stories from my heart. I need that stage time helps me a lot. That's one of the reason I'm keep going to the club, the basics. Having said that, the public speaking, the Milestone World Championship, no, that was not my goal at all. When I joined Toastmasters, my goal was, this was a burning desire inside me to share my stories with the students. So to get that storytelling technique, that was one of the reasons to join the Toastmasters. I feel like that I achieved that, not achieved still, but there is no achievement or reaching the milestone. There's always improvement or learning lessons. So that was one of the reasons that helped me, and I continue to attend Toastmasters for the stage time. And then I went through the leadership journey as well. I went through the club president. I was the club president of the oldest club in Qatar. So proud to say that I held the president of Doha Toastmasters Club. Everyone is proud to say that. And I did the area director role. And then now I'm more focused to sports and on performance. So bit passive, but still I go for the stage time to the Toastmasters.
Absolutely fantastic.
Okay. A Doha Toastmaster member is here with us. And I'm very sure, Abdul, if you keep on sharing your stories, because we genuinely believe that, yes, you have very inspiring stories. And it's not about World Championship of Public Speaking as a title, but it is one of the story that comes at that stage and win the hearts of many people, right? So I'm very sure we would definitely love to see you on that stage someday. But yes, keep sharing your story. That's, I think, a better way of looking at Toastmaster journey, not just as a trophy or any title, but your desire to share and inspire people, especially the youngsters. I think that's beautiful takeaway for me.
And I think my honey and me, when we were discussing to invite you, the one of the idea was that we want to share your story with the world, but we also want to share your story with all the Toastmasters, so that they know that we have a Toastmasters among us who is like so inspiring, and the guy who takes new challenges every day. As we are coming towards the end, I would like to ask you, what is that one of your favorite quote that straight or directly resonates with your story?
It's all about continuous improvement.
Okay.
Follow the process, anything is possible. I repeat the same. It's all about continuous improvement. Yes. Follow the process, anything is possible. Just look at me, my life. That's example.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Abdul. Yes, friends, this is all about continuous improvement, taking those small, insignificant steps towards your goals. Like Abdul has been taking, breaking your own record every moment, every day. Small steps will help you achieve your goals. Honey.
And breaking the stereotypes. I can't do this at this age, or this is not possible, or this is not doable. I think Abdul is breaking all the stereotypes. And Abdul, I know many of us, including me, including Deepak, including many of our audience members, I'm very sure we operate through certain limitations in our head, that what is possible and what's not possible. And your story has given us insight into the possibilities of everything, be it running a triathlon or doing a Mount Everest summit, and finding the work-life balance in such a beautiful way. I think your story has been really amazing, and we are glad that you're here to share with us. And we are going to share your story with the world now.
Yeah.
So
Thank you so much. I'm personally very inspired today. I'm all excited to do new things, take new challenges.
Abdul, I ran my first marathon in 2020, just before COVID happened. It was 10 kilometers. 21 is my goal this time,
Yes.
because Abdul has inspired me to do it. And
Thank you so much for joining us on Your Story, Your Glory. To see this episode, you can subscribe to our channel, Deepak Sharma Speaks. It will be on the video, and our podcast, Your Story, Your Glory, on all the channels, Apple, Google, Stitcher, Amazon Music. And we are so grateful today Abdul was with us. Thank you, Honey, for being my lovely co-host. Thank you, Abdul, for being with us on this podcast, Your Story, Your Glory.
Thank you. Thank you
all
so
the best.
much. Stay healthy always. Bye-bye. Take care.